A common phrase we hear in life is to get your head out of the clouds. However, clouds are a pretty good subject to think about. As a senior college student who studies meteorology, they're one of my favorite things to think about. You see, clouds make the sky a beautiful place. They come in all different shapes and sizes, and they can tell us a lot about the weather that we can expect from them. So what makes clouds more than just marshmallows in the sky? Well, every single cloud has interesting properties and a unique name. To tell what kind of cloud you have to delve into those properties. For example, there are two different kinds of cloud structure. How high a cloud is helps determine the name that it gets. And lastly, different types of clouds produce different types of weather. The first property we can look at is cloud structure. The first type of structure is cumuliform. These are clouds that form vertically. According to Jeff Habe from theweatherprediction.com, these clouds form from a process called convection. You can think of convection as when you're boiling a pot of water and there's bubbles that come up from the bottom of the pot and pop on the surface. The same thing happens in the atmosphere. There's bubbles of warm air that rise up and pop, and you get condensation into clouds. These clouds can grow very tall or they can be small and individually shaped. The thing cumulus clouds are known best for are their fluffy popcorn-like appearance, and they have dark cloud bases. The second type of cloud structure is stratiform, or stratus clouds. These are clouds that grow horizontally rather than vertically. According to the United Kingdom Meteorology Office, stratiform clouds are featureless blankets of white or gray in the sky that cover everything. These clouds can be very thick, making a sky overcast, not letting any sunlight through, or they can be relatively thin, showing a sort of fog or a mist. The way these clouds are formed is from lifting entire layers of air so that they all condense at once. This is either done by converging air at the surface that lifts everything up so it forms into that sheet, or it can be along the slope of a hill or a mountain. The air flows up but can't go into the ground, so it goes up the side of the mountain until eventually it condenses out. The second property of clouds we look at is cloud heights. There's 3 different levels of clouds: low, medium, and high. So the numbers I got for these clouds, I got from the National Weather Service. The first level of clouds are the low-level clouds. These form below 6,500 feet in the atmosphere. The naming system for these clouds is they get no prefix, no special name. They're just cumulus or stratus. The second level is the mid-level. These clouds form between 6,500 feet and 20,000 feet in the air. These clouds get the prefix alto to their name, so you get altostratus or altocumulus. The last level are the high-level clouds. These form above 20,000 feet in the air. These clouds get the prefix cirro to their name, so you get cirrocumulus, cirrostratus, or even cirrus clouds. These are the wispy ones that kind of resemble feathers in the sky. Now, with these different cloud heights, it's difficult to say what name it gets because it's hard to tell how high a cloud is from the ground. What I like to use is a hand trick that I learned, which is you go outside and you hold your hand out with your fist and your thumb out. If the cloud is as big or bigger than your fist, it's usually a lower level cloud. If it's as big as your thumb, that usually means it's a mid-level cloud, so you'd be with altostratus or altocumulus. If it's something smaller than your fingernail, it's going to be something so high up it'll get the cirrus added to its name. This kind of trick doesn't really work for stratus clouds. Rather, you have to look at their thickness to tell how low they are. Usually the thicker clouds, the ones that block out the sun, are usually low to mid-level clouds. When something's a fog or it covers the top of a building, that's usually a low-level cloud. And when you look at the sun and see a sort of halo or the moon, that's how you know it is a high stratus cloud, so a cirrostratus cloud. Those are very thin. The most important property of clouds are the types of weather they produce. So any cloud that produces rain or any kind of precipitation has nimbus in its name. The first type is nimbostratus. These are stratiform versions of these clouds. The UK Met Office associates these clouds with continuous moderate rainfall that lasts for a long period of time. We usually associate these clouds with frontal systems. So if you hear a cold front is coming through, that's how you know you're going to have stratiform rain and nimbostratus precipitation. The second type of weather producing cloud are the cumulonimbus clouds. These are your token thunderstorms. These form very high up through the atmosphere, and they're associated with heavy rain, sleet, snow. Now, when these storms have rotation involved in their formation, they become a more severe version of themselves called a supercell. Supercells are the kind of clouds that produce very heavy rain, large pieces of hail, damaging winds, and maybe even tornadoes. There are also mid-level clouds that can produce lighter precipitation, and every now and then you have an individual stray small cumulus cloud that rains and it feels like it's coming out of nowhere, but it's just from a small cumulus. The high-level clouds don't produce any precipitation as they are too high up, and they are mostly usually made of ice crystals anyways. So to summarize the different properties of clouds, we know that there's two types of structures. They grow either horizontally, so stratiform, or vertically, cumuliform. We also know that there's three different levels, so there's low level, mid-level, and high level. Each of these get different kinds of names. And lastly, different types of cloud produce different types of weather. You either have nimbostratus clouds or you have cumulonimbus clouds. And the precipitation that they make varies from rain to hail to graupel or something like sleet or snow. And so we see that clouds are more than just shapeless cotton balls that are in the sky. Each cloud has a unique name and it has its own function. So hopefully with the knowledge about clouds, the next time you're outside, you can look up and see a cloud, be able to identify it, know the name of it, and have an expectation of the weather that you can expect from it.